Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the confusing world of corporate filings. And today we have Heritage Distilling Holding Company, and their news that might be a little bit drier than usual, but stick with us because there's always a story even in the most basic updates. Before we dive in, if you get value from these breakdowns, make sure you're subscribed and ding that notification bell. We also have a growing community over on Discord. The link for that is in the description below. Come hang out. So what we have here is a Form 8K from Heritage Distilling Holding Company. Think of an 8K as a current report, like a company shouting out something important that just happened. This one's dated July 31st, 2025. This filing is really about an update on a previous deal they had. Remember that securities purchase agreement they announced back in January 2025 with CMAP Capital Master Fund LP. Well, this is an update on that. Essentially, Heritage Distilling had the option to sell up to $15 million worth of its stock to this investor. This report tells us how much they've actually sold so far under that agreement. Between February and the end of July 2025, they sold a little over 11.5 million shares of their common stock. That brought in just under $5 million in cash for the company. They specifically mention a chunk of that, over 10.5 million shares, was sold in the latter half of July for about $4 million. The price per share in these recent sales ranged from 32 cents to 45 cents. After all these sales, Heritage Distilling now has about 23.6 million shares of its common stock out there. The company is also reassuring everyone that this investor is what they call an accredited investor, which just means a wealthy individual or entity that meets certain income or net worth requirements, and that these sales were done without needing to register them with the SEC, relying on certain exemptions. They've also registered some of these shares for resale by the investor on different registration statements. It's worth noting their common stock trades on the NASDAQ under the ticker CASK. Now, looking at this filing, what's the story? It's an update on a capital raise. The company is selling its stock to an investor to bring him cash. This is pretty standard for companies, especially those that might be growing or need funding for operations. The specific numbers are important, showing they've successfully raised nearly $5 million over several months. Heritage Distilling is also identifying itself as an emerging growth company. This means they can take advantage of certain relaxed reporting and regulatory requirements, which can be helpful when a company is still finding its footing. However, when we look at the prices between 32 and 45 cents a share, it gives us a picture of the current market valuation of the company. These aren't high prices. While raising capital is good, the price at which you're selling your stock can tell you a lot about investor sentiment and the company's immediate perceived value. So what's our take? Heritage Distilling is actively managing its finances and raising capital to keep operations going or to fund growth plans. That's a positive sign of proactive management. The key risks here are always about execution. Can they use this capital effectively to grow the business and increase shareholder value? The low share price in these transactions might indicate that the market currently values the company in that range, and future success will depend on how well they can turn this cash infusion into tangible business improvements and profitability. It's a step, but the real test is what they do with the money. Alright, that's our quick decode of this Heritage Distilling 8K. What are your thoughts on these capital raises and what they mean for the company's future? Let us know in the comments. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And don't forget to join the conversation on our Discord server, link in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.